At Ortho, Rhode Island, our mission is to get you back on the field, back on the water, back to work, back to your family. Our experienced orthopedic surgeons and specialists work with leading-edge treatments and robotic-assisted technologies, caring for chronic conditions and injuries to bones, muscles, and joints, from diagnosis to aftercare, so you can get back to what matters most. Ortho, Rhode Island, caring for your every move. At Ortho, Rhode Island, our mission is to get you back on the field, back on the water, back to work, back to your family. Our experienced orthopedic surgeons and specialists work with leading-edge treatments and robotic-assisted technologies, caring for chronic conditions and injuries to bones, muscles, and joints, from diagnosis to aftercare, so you can get back to what matters most. Ortho, Rhode Island, caring for your every move.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Johnston, Rhode Island for the site of tonight's Rhode Island Interscholastic League Division III Boys Soccer State Championship game. We're here at Mayor Joseph M. Policina Stadium. Matchup is the hometown Johnston Panthers taking on the visiting Narragansett Mariners. I'm Jake Levin alongside Steve Kirk. Game number 4 for us tonight. Steve, a job well done so far. Let's get through the nightcap.
3 down, 1 to go. Had a great one that just completed earlier, and let's hope this Division III game is a good one as well. I would anticipate it.
South Kingstown won the Division I state title, their first since 1992. The Division II boys game that ended about 45 minutes ago, that was East Greenwich capturing its first title since 2009. There will be a drought broken tonight one way or the other. Narragansett has won just one title in its program history, 1986. Johnston has never won. In fact, they've never even played in a championship match. So it's historic for the hometown Panthers. But it's the Mariners who start out upfield there in their road red jerseys. Narragansett coming into this game with a 7-1-1 mark. Johnston 6-2. Narragansett has been to the final 5 times in its history. Just that one win, though, 1986. Came up short in 1982, 85, 87, and most recently in 2012. That was a 6-1 loss against the Classical Purple. Johnston, 6-2. Again, never been to a final. This is historic for their program. And they're in their home navy blues with some baby blue numbering. Somewhat easier on the eyes, Steve, I would say, than those East Greenwich uniforms.
Yeah, certainly easier to read numbers, that's for sure.
Nothing against those EG uniforms. Just from up here, when you're squinting, it's not the easiest to pick out the numbers, but
especially on that far side. That's a long way away.
Nice-looking uniforms.
Johnston. Panthers got to this game with a couple one-goal victories. Number 3 seed beat Prout 3-2 in the first round, and then upset the number 1 seed North Providence 2-1 to get to this championship game.
Narragansett eliminated Pontigansett the first round, 1-0. A little more comfortable time against Cuffy. The second round of the semifinals. It was a 3-0 affair. Or we wind up here tonight, the final day of the fall season. Well, tomorrow's technically the final day. A couple of more girls' soccer games.
3 more will be right here at Johnston High School, and obviously brought to you on the NFHS network as well.
It's a crosser from the Mariners, and making his way over towards the ball is Kiba Gay, the goaltender for the Panthers. believe it's going to be George Bannister and Jared Ware on the call tomorrow for those games. And I've worked with both of them before. They do an outstanding job, so you'll be in good hands.
It's like Allstate. Free plug for a non-sponsor.
Johnston trying to flip the field, get its first shot on Adam Lurgio, the Narragansett netminder. He's a senior. The throw in from across the pitch lands with Carlos Montero.
Narragansett only 4 seniors in the starting lineup. Lurgio was one of them, but a youthful team with 7 underclassmen starting in a state championship game.
Mariners move back upfield. Narragansett coached by Kevin Kennedy. Johnston coached by John Sousa. Tracking the ball down with speed. Nathan Ward for the Mariners. Bit of an entanglement. Brady Butler jumps up and joins the fray. Ball goes up high as Brody Williams watches it fall to the turf for Narragansett. Tried to direct it. There's Nick Biafori. Biafori trying to track it down, keep it in bounds, but it will roll over the end line. The end result, a goal kick for the Panthers.
Johnston gets to play a state championship game on their home field.
Must be nice. Don't have to
A little
travel
home
far.
cooking. Yeah, a little home cooking. Familiarity. It's a reward for getting here.
Know every bounce of this turf. It's been well kept. That was a break for Mohamed Abahera. Goes out of bounds. It'll be a Johnston throw-in handled by Jacob Muller. Muller lobs it in, kicked away by the Gansett defense out towards midfield. Antonio Patron there for the Panthers. Bicycled by Jose Echeverria. Panthers ahead. This is going to be the chance. Good job by Echeverria with a little burst of speed, but Lurgio able to tumble on top of the ball for the Mariners, who quickly flipped the field. In fact, all the way back towards Kiba Gay. He's able to hang on and boots it himself. A low line drive with some downward spin.
Lurgio, if he had hesitated even 1 second, that might have been disastrous, but aggressive play and got there just in the nick of time.
There's Nathan Ward. Ward to some open space. Comes back towards Melnick. Melnick to the other side of the box. The ball is blocked away by a Panther defender off the foot of Biafori. And result be a corner kick for the first time in this contest for either team. 7 minutes gone by. Narragansett will have the honors. Declan Fogarty going to be kicking it in from the far side of the field. Skies one, plenty of spin. Gay saw it all the way. He'll hang on.
Defense did a nice job, almost like an offensive line, kept the quarterback in the pocket, let him have the space that he needed to elevate and catch that one.
Now the Panthers logo taking a tumble for the Mariners. I believe that was Harris. Pops up. Narragansett maintained possession. Headed along by Fogarty. Fogarty's going to slice one towards the box, off ahead. The wrong deflection. Not what Reisner was looking for. Melnick stays with it to the middle of the field, and getting tripped up is Patrick. He takes a hard fall.
It's up quick. I like that.
Will be a free kick for the Mariners. Scott Riley on the honors. Riley comes across for Melnick. Melnick back into the middle, kicked away with authority by Laster. Way upfield, ball slows down a little bit with Montero in pursuit. Did trickle a little bit beyond Lurgio, but knocked away by the Gansett defense.
That was just a sprint. It's not track season, but it turned into it there.
Here's Patron. Lost it to Melnick. Melnick in the corner. Patron kicks it out of bounds. That looks like a goal kick forthcoming for the Mariners. Dribbling up is Lamero. Lamero across the 40. He's going to put one towards the goal. It was going wide anyways. Lurgio scoops it, and he'll look to launch with more than 10 minutes gone by in the first half here in Johnston. Ball bounces into Gay with a couple Mariners bearing in on him. There's Melnick. They turn the tide for the Mariners. A lead for Sullivan, the left wing corner. Plays it with his left foot. Sullivan has it, wards off the defender, goes out of bounds. It'll be a throw in for Narragansett. That far side corner. And I do mean far. Can't see much down there.
It was a nice job by the Johnston defender because trying to get shielded and turning it into a corner kick. Instead, he was able to kick it out on the sideline. Throwing not as dangerous as the corner kick. Just over 10 minutes into this one.
Gay gives it a boom out towards the right side, and there's it is again, Steve. So, you know, every team taking advantage of kicking it right.
Yeah, good point. If you've been with us all day, a lot of goal kicks go towards that bench on the left side of the scoreboard.
Patron with a lead ahead to Montero. Montero lobs one. Easily playable for Lurgio. Gobbles it up and gets ready to punt. The booming kick lands around midfield, knocked down by Abahara. There's Lamero. Make that Carlino. The open man to the far side. Gay watches it go by. It was off the mark. A good bid by Patrick. But I'm not sure he realized how much space he had.
Great heel pass that set up Patrick, and I think you're right. I think if he realized how much green turf was around him, he may be able to take one more step and really get a good footing on that one. Instead, rushed it a little bit, kicked it wide.
So, Bill, baseball rule changes. You're just talking about that one. Yes, yeah. 2 7-inning doubleheaders. We like that. Is that agreed? Well, that's good. The players like that. Yeah, well, everybody likes it, right? So, potentially. Okay. The go-ahead runner in next.
Narragansett with a throw in from the far side of the field.
I think that one has a better chance of staying than 7-inning doubleheader.
Carlino
Statistics say
in defense. As Williams got ahead. Might have a free kick coming for the Mariners.
I think it's going to be a penalty kick. I think that was in the box.
I think you're correct, Steve. Narragansett with a PK. 13 minutes, 31 seconds into the contest. And let's see who's on the ball.
Now it's just a hip check in the box. No attempt at the ball.
Jack Sullivan do the honors for Narragansett. Sullivan with a chance and a big spot to give his team an early lead. The Mariners searching for their first title in boys soccer in 34 years. Sullivan can put his team in the driver's seat on this PK. Gay very active between the pipes. Sullivan lets it launch, shot score. Jack Sullivan left no doubt about it, left Gay guessing. Went left, but really not even too far. Still in the middle or so third of the crease. And it's a 1-0 lead for Narragansett.
Confident with his decision. Placed it where he wanted to. Gay went the other way, and Brody Williams gets the goal. So after our last game, which went scoreless into the second overtime, we get an early goal.
That's how it works. Ahead by Hayes, Gay scoops it up on the hop. There's Maciel. There's a cross for Biafori. Biafori ahead looking for Williams. Goes out of bounds. It'll be a Narragansett throw-in. There's Ward. Top the box, gets it ahead and taking a tumble. He vied for it was Maciel.
You got one, you weren't going to get two.
Yep.
First one was clear as day. That one.
Borderline at best,
yes.
But Narragansett jumps the route on the clear, and it's Ward. Lobs it ahead and staying in bounds is Fogarty, and he runs a little too far in front of the ball. Out of bounds, goal kick forthcoming for Johnston.
Fogarty did a great job to keep that in, but the pass he made to himself had a little too much speed on it, and he couldn't chase it down. somebody hit the ball right back through the middle, and it was weird to see it be a base hit because usually there's always a short second second like that.
No, that's true.
It's the weirdest thing. It's true.
Believe me, I notice it a lot.
Narragansett throws it in from across the pitch. Seen a lot of action to the far side of the field.
Foul whistled against Narragansett.
He was rearranging the deck chairs. He was. It's a phrase you often hear in European soccer, and I think I used it in a Red Sox column.
Gabe boots it.
Too many guys who weren't fit to wear the shirt.
Agreed. You said that. There were guys that were minor leaguers.
It was.
Comes down around midfield. Leaping in is Scott Riley. Back towards Biafori. Breaking ahead, Narragansett with a chance. The shot, and it splits past Gay wide of the post. A great bid for Biafori. Narragansett has had a couple of chances in the early going, Steve, and I know they have the penalty shot goal.
I tell you what, they missed both in the same spot. Inches to that left side.
Well, for me, though, it started before the you come out, you say, we want to compete every year, we want to do this, we want to do that.
There's a rush for Brady Butler. Butler slows down, pivots with his right foot, and sent one off the backside of Patron. Out of bounds it goes. So the end result is a corner kick for the Mariners. Believe it'll be their second of the contest.
Nifty bit of dribbling by Butler. Gets rewarded with the corner kick.
Butler on a line drive. It skips. The one-timer gets caught in traffic. There's another bit in. Gay knocked down. Narragansett scores. Going to be Brody Williams. Had it for the Mariners. A 2-0 lead.
If it is Williams, it is his second of the game. Wild scramble in front. Gay was on the turf, but Williams was able to score. So it is Williams' second. And Narragansett doubles their lead. Pressure results in a goal.
Narragansett turning up the heat once again. These teams did not play one another in the regular season. And as a matter of fact, there were no rematches in any of these title games today.
0 for 4. Typical day for me in high school baseball back in the day.
You like to see the nuance, I guess, in the state championship game. You like it when it's a team you haven't seen all season. Something new.
Unless you've got a really good rivalry, and those are just the two
Sure.
best teams that, as I'm sure happens in hockey in Rhode Island, when you get to that, which I love how you do the best 2 out of 3.
Yep.
If you get 2 pretty good rivals there, that's the next best thing. I wish Connecticut would go to that.
Sprung free is Ward. Gets spun around, and falling down is Melnick. Will be a Narragansett free kick, I believe. Not a penalty kick, but a free kick, and it's going to be from pretty deep in the attacking zone, outside the football boundary lines, the American football boundary lines at least. Huh? Right on it. There's Scott Riley from the 15-yard marker, certainly within scoring range. 2-man wall to contend with. He puts some spin on it, looking for the header, and Gay makes the preemptive strike. Keeps this a 2-goal game for now. Gay scoops one up off a foot from the far post. Colin Martin was in the vicinity as we're over halfway gone now in this first half. Next whistle likely going to get the mask break. Players can adjust, so the de facto second quarter would then begin. Far side there goes Biafori. Biafori into the middle. Using his head there is Melgar to keep it out of the box. Further up, it's Echeverria. Echeverria for Montero. Montero centers it. There's Lamero. Lamero, it sprays off towards Rihanna. Can't get the shot off, and a collision there in the middle of the field. So 19:08 left in the first half. That will be our mask break. We will take a break here on the NFHS Network. 2-0 lead for Narragansett.
At Ortho, Rhode Island, our mission is to get you back on the field, back on the water, back to work, back to your family. Our experienced orthopedic surgeons and specialists work with leading-edge treatments and robotic-assisted technologies, caring for chronic conditions and injuries to bones, muscles, and joints, from diagnosis to aftercare, so you can get back to what matters most. Ortho, Rhode Island, caring for your every move. At Ortho, Rhode Island, our mission is to get you back on the field, back on the water, back to work, back to your family. Our experienced orthopedic surgeons and specialists work with leading-edge treatments and robotic-assisted technologies, caring for chronic conditions and injuries to bones, muscles, and joints, from diagnosis to aftercare, so you can get back to what matters most. Ortho, Rhode Island, caring for your every move.
Welcome back to Policina Stadium. 2-0 the Narragansett lead. Jake Levitt alongside Steve Kirk. Mariners with a pair of goals off the foot of Brody Williams, one off a PK, about 5 minutes apart. Johnston going to ignite their offense. Tested Lergio a little bit, maybe not any high leverage scoring chances, but certainly some balls in his vicinity. Bit of confusion there, a couple different balls going around. It'd be quite the twist. Play with two balls, maybe lead to a little more scoring. So here we go, it's settled.
I don't know if you follow the NBA at all, but if Harden goes to the Nets, they're going to need more than one ball.
As it is, they're probably going to.
Yeah.
Yeah, certainly the NBA offseason coming in November is bizarre, but it still hasn't lacked the drama that usually comes in July. Mariners back. That was TJ Racner sending it out of bounds. Did he send it out along the goal line?
No, I think it was a sideline.
Yep. You are right. Will be a throw in for Johnston. Jacob Muller bounce that in. And again, the wrong ball or something. So Muller will a little deeper in the zone, heave it in. Looking for Montero, kicked away by Ward. Montero Is it deflected back? Give it a try is Hayes. Hayes had his angle locked off by Lamero. So it goes back to Gay, who sends it to midfield for Johnston. Coming up is Patron. Patron to the left side of the field for Melgar. Melgar threw a little traffic, got past one man, can't get past the second as Patrick sends it out to the wing. Ball launched ahead. A foot race is on. Butler going there. Gay with a preemptive strike, and if the ball had settled a little bit for the Mariners, Gay still a little out of position. Butler's going to tee one up, and a save by Gay with his right hand as he sprawls out on the far side of the box to keep this a 2-goal game.
Scrambled to get back, scrambled to find his perfect positioning, and shot was pretty well placed. The right paw by Gay keeps this a 2-goal game.
Headed up by Melnick. Taken back by Montero. Montero again into the middle. Kicked away by Biafori. It's a very zealous ball boy. I think that's what's causing some of the confusion. He's doing a great job out there, almost too good of a job.
That was actually the right decision. Give up the ball you have and then go chase the one that went behind you.
Well, Melnick gets set to throw it in.
A couple Narragansett subs. Looks like Jack Harris checking in.
Melnick launches it. As Harris tries to track it down right off the bench. There's some speed coming into play for the Mariners. Safe pass goes back towards Ward. A little too much bend. But a header from inside the box. I think that was offside anyways. Wouldn't have mattered.
Of course, that's number 26 for Narragansett, which is not on the roster I have.
I do not see a 26 either, of course.
He'll score a goal. Probably 2.
3 players unlisted, or at least in terms of their numbers. Sebastian Carlson, Lucas Mason, and Zachary Tuati.
Logic says it's one of them. And with Masson being a forward versus the other two being a defenders could narrow it down, but we will try to effort that at halftime.
I like those odds. Boomed up by Patron. Patron. Over there is Brower. Johnston really looking for its first great scoring chance now as we're about 27 minutes in. Had the ball deep, put some balls near Lurgio.
I don't have an official shot yet for Johnston.
And one goes out of bounds. Going to be Narragansett throw in.
Another scenario where entire bench helps the official. But that was a great play. It was a ricochet off the Johnston defender.
To the middle it goes. A little stop and go cross dribble by Butler with some speed. Knocked down by Williams, looking for the hat trick. There's Colin Patrick to the left side wing. Back to Patrick. Gonna move around some screens. He gets hip checked off the play by Quinteros.
Twelve and a half minutes left. First half of this Division III boys soccer championship game. Narragansett up 2-0.
Patrick, the far side of the field. Ahead for Ward. Ward runs into some contact offside. Johnston possession. I think this will be a goal kick. On that side of the field for Kiba Gay. Gay sends one that curls off to our left. Headed along by Ward. Ward goes back for Patrick. Split between the legs of a defender. Butler looking to track it down, take it away from Melgar. Melgar ahead, finds his man on the wing. It's Patron. Little reset towards Montero. Narragansett thwarts the initial rush. Lamero back to the ball, ahead for Montero. Montero sends a crosser through the box that will roll harmlessly out of bounds.
I think Patron, number 10, was right there. If he could have stuck his foot out, try to redirect that, almost like a shot from the point in hockey that tries to get redirected by someone in front. Might have snuck by or got to the back of the net. Just a little bit too far for him.
Narragansett flips the field immediately. A crosser is turned away by the defender, Patron. It's a boom for Ward that goes out of bounds, so Gay will get a goal kick. Big collision over in front of the scorer's table. See if that results in any cards, and I see a yellow card. I believe that's on Johnston. A positive on the number. Really squinting here.
Yeah, it's tough to see numbers on that far side. Your eyes are 20 years younger than mine.
Johnston flips the field with the striker Montero. Up and away. Colin Martin knocked him away from the ball. Inside 10 minutes left in the first half. It'll be a Panther throw-in.
Good effort by Montero there, but he was the only blue jersey surrounded by 4 red ones. Those aren't good odds. Did manage to get a throw-in on the far side, though.
Scott Riley for Ward on the far end. Sent out by Lamero. Narragansett throw in from in front of its own bench.
Stop the clock for injured player, looks like.
A quick delay. Clock resumes ticking. Looks like it's going to be a corner kick for the Mariners. I stand corrected, just a throw in from very deep. Through the box, the intended target was Butler. Couldn't get it off his head, and there's a shot from right around the penalty kick area, off the foot of Ward, too high, and Gay will get a goal kick. Good pass ahead from Patron. Patron sent it.
I think that was a half shot, half pass.
A little too much bend. Right, if it was a pass, I definitely see where he was coming from. Nobody met him on that far side wing.
I think it was a shot, though, that he was trying to get into that upper right corner and was just a little wide. But either way, skillful play by Patron.
Booming ball from Narragansett in the back end. This goes off the foot of Lamero to avoid any odd man rush. Out of bounds by Johnston. Narragansett will get a throw in inside 7 minutes left in the first half.
Difference, the pair of Brody Williams tallies. One on the PK. One about 5 minutes later off a scramble following a corner kick.
And the MVP thus far. 2 goals in a 4-minute, 40-second span to be exact. Team's jockeying for position around midfield. It's Montero. The lead pass off to his right. Intended for Aberhara. Montero splits between a couple of red jerseys and launches a shot. More of a pass that's tracked down and stayed in bounds somehow. Echeverria, an excellent job collecting that ball. Patron into the middle, wanted the header, nothing doing. All the way back upfield come the Mariners. It's Melnick. To the right, the shot, Gay plays it on the hop. With 5.5 to go in the first half, he rolls it for Aberhara. Aberhara gets taken down from behind on a slide tackle. And he's slow to get up. He'll be okay. Good sportsmanship there. He was helped up. And it's a yellow card. So number 26, our mystery man there, Steve, going to have to go sit down for a few minutes.
Yellow cards now, 1 for each team.
Be a free kick for Johnston from deep inside its own territory, around the 29. Booted by Gay. I think he was a little bit ahead of the whistle. Take 2 for Gay. It's an even better kick. In terms of length, at least. Didn't connect with a Panther upfield, however. Emerging from the scrum is Brody Williams. Out to around midfield, Williams. Lost it to Marone.
That was a good slide tackle. Ball first.
Slide tackling also banned in Massachusetts. I know we've discussed
Okay.
a few times over the course of the broadcasts today what you can do and what you can't do up in Mass.
So you can't, there's no throw-ins, you can't head it, and there's no slide tackling.
Correct. No corner kicks.
No corner kicks.
Can't congregate, the wall, so to speak. You can't build that wall with a couple defenders in front of a free kick.
That's a lot of the basic elements of soccer.
I agree. And I
Hey,
think
it gets the kids to play, so I'm all for it.
it does.
Don't
Oh,
get
no.
me wrong.
Absolutely.
I'm not being critical.
And it's unprecedented these times. We're well aware. And, nobody knows exactly what works and what doesn't, but it sure does look like it's working in Rhode Island. A very successful fall season here in the Ocean State. The final game of the boys' season right now, Narragansett and Johnston for the Division III crown. Narragansett up 2-0. Pair of goals for Brody Williams.
So when it is a corner kick situation, well, how do they put the ball back in play?
It's called an indirect kick, I guess. I only covered one
Okay.
boys soccer game.
Didn't mean to put you on
this
the
fall.
spot.
No, that's okay. It's just it's what I've read.
Okay.
Saw a little bit more girls soccer and field hockey in my travels. We got a little delay here, maybe some subs. Not sure what they're sorting out. The play resumes. Johnston sends one upfield. Although I don't believe it's a live ball. Still.
Yeah, I think it's one of those where someone might have been shaken up. They kick the ball out of bounds, so the other team throws it into the other team, and you just kind of have a reset.
What a hang time on that kick by Allergio. There's Patrick. Patrick with a shot. Gay a save. There's some zip on that one as Gay will haul it out to the near side left. Melnick.
Like the chest pass to the side here, but Narragansett couldn't keep it in play.
Throw in intended for Marone. He kicks it out of bounds. Brody Williams to throw it in. On second thought, it will be Melnick. Adam Melnick, the junior, up the middle. And the first line of defense is Antonio Patron. Kick it back towards Gay, and that wound up being a little dangerous. Team's jockeying for position around midfield. Colin Patrick on the scene for the Mariners. Patrick gets past one defender. Patrick staying with the ball, sent out of bounds by Lamero. Should be a Mariner throw-in with about 90 seconds left in the first half. Throw-in doesn't result in any shot attempts for the Mariners as we're down to 1 minute of play in the first half. A couple bodies go down. The officials say play on. Looks like both players were looking for an edge. That was Patron for Johnston and Patrick for Narragansett. Down to 40 seconds left in the half. Be a Johnston throw-in. We'll see how aggressive they get right now. 2-0, certainly not insurmountable, although you'd love to have one goal back heading into the locker room, but you really can't leave yourself vulnerable the back end to make it 3-0. It's a shot from deep. And the Panthers wish they had taken a little more time there. Goes out of bounds. That'll be a goal kick, and the Mariners can take their sweet time here, Steve. Bleed the rest of this clock and be pretty content heading to the half with a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, it's exactly what they'll do, and that probably was a little bit of a quick reset for Johnston there. Might have been able to use that set piece a little bit better, but we have reached halftime.
And we will take a break here on the NFHS Network. 7 halves of soccer down and a little overtime mixed in. 1 half to go here today. Jake Levin and Steve Kirk, we will be right back in 10 minutes.
The NFHS Learning Center is the leader in online education for the interscholastic community. At nfhslearn.com, you can find over 70 courses, including more than 30 free courses, such as concussion in sports, heat illness prevention, sudden cardiac arrest, and protecting students from abuse. To learn more, visit the NFHS Learning Center.
At Ortho, Rhode Island, our mission is to get you back on the field, back on the water, back to work, back to your family. Our experienced orthopedic surgeons and specialists work with leading-edge treatments and robotic-assisted technologies, caring for chronic conditions and injuries to bones, muscles, and joints, from diagnosis to aftercare, so you can get back to what matters most. Ortho, Rhode Island, caring for your every move. At Ortho, Rhode Island, our mission is to get you back on the field, back on the water, back to work, back to your family. Our experienced orthopedic surgeons and specialists work with leading-edge treatments and robotic-assisted technologies, caring for chronic conditions and injuries to bones, muscles, and joints, from diagnosis to aftercare, so you can get back to what matters most. Ortho, Rhode Island, caring for your every move. At Ortho, Rhode Island, our mission is to get you back on the field, back on the water, back to work, back to your family. Our experienced orthopedic surgeons and specialists work with leading-edge treatments and robotic-assisted technologies, caring for chronic conditions and injuries to bones, muscles, and joints, from diagnosis to aftercare, so you can get back to what matters most. Ortho, Rhode Island, caring for your every move. At Ortho, Rhode Island, our mission is to get you back on the field, back on the water, back to work, back to your family. Our experienced orthopedic surgeons and specialists work with leading-edge treatments and robotic-assisted technologies, caring for chronic conditions and injuries to bones, muscles, and joints, from diagnosis to aftercare, so you can get back to what matters most. Ortho, Rhode Island, caring for your every move.
Welcome back to Johnston. One final time here. It is Game 4 of our quadruple header. The Division III Boys Soccer State Championship game in the Rhode Island Interscholastic League. Narragansett Mariners with a 2-0 lead over the Johnston Panthers. Both goals scored by Brody Williams, the senior midfielder for Narragansett. One on a penalty kick, about 4 minutes, 40 seconds apart in that first half. Jake Levin alongside Steve Kirk. Steve, we've been lucky with 4 pretty good games today, and I don't think this fourth game has been any exception.
No, even though it's 2-0, it's been competitive, and Johnston has had their chances, and it's been entertaining back and forth. So, yes, I would concur with that statement.
Teams have switched sides. Johnston now attacking the goal to the right of your screen. Narragansett the goal to the left. Kiba Gay still between the pipes for the Panthers. He's getting ready to boot it. Launches one. It was intended up towards Marlon Soto. Soto stepped around by Sullivan. Abahara sends a pass ahead towards Soto. It's kicked out of bounds, but it was by Narragansett. Jumping in the way was Maciel, so a corner kick forthcoming. That's the first of the game for Johnson. Opted for the short one, and a shot is on goal. Save made by Lergio, his first save of the game.
First official shot on net. They went with a quick reset off the corner kick. Wound up with a quality chance.
Shot on goal. Gonna say it was the right decision, even if they didn't score. So we've played about 2 minutes in the second half and now 42 minutes overall. Retreating back in his own end, Maciel. Sent it out of bounds, so a throw-in upcoming for Johnston. Ball went off. Melnick. Another throw-in for the Panthers. That time it deflected off a Johnston jersey, so a Narragansett throw-in coming up. Narragansett across midfield. Pass to the left, sprayed towards Ward. Went back towards Riley. Jumping up with a header, Patron. Then all over the place for Johnston. We'll stop and go at midfield. A foul on Narragansett, so a free kick for Johnston from right at midfield, basically. They'll just go with a short pass ahead for Lamero. Intended for Soto. Melnick gets in the way, and he'll send his man on a goal route. It's Fogarty along the sideline. Fogarty trying to win a foot race to the corner. Ran out of real estate, but he gets it back. Fogarty does. Taps it back to himself. Good one-on-one battle in the near side corner. Was defended greatly by Lamero. Now going to be a throw-in for Narragansett.
That was a nice job by Lamero. Could have been a corner kick easily. Could have been an opportunity with a cross in front. He was able to get his foot on it, knock it out of bounds on the sideline. So the end result was a throw-in.
Sent up sky high by the Panthers. So they try to clear. Mayseal in the vicinity. Short triangular pass to Ward. A little give and go. Ward has it. Near wing. Dribbling through contact. Gets tripped up, but it was on his own accord, they say. But Johnston sends one up high, but offside.
He was just ahead. Offsides is the call, and he was a yard ahead, but 1 yard is 1 yard.
As they don't bring offsides replay into soccer the way they have in hockey. Although apparently they do have some sort of review in the Premier League. Keep it out of high school soccer. Let's leave it at that. It's a booming ball by Dean. Pursued is Ward. That goes out of bounds. Johnston throw in coming up with 5 minutes gone by in the second half. Nice screen set there by Ward. A little give and go with Butler. Chipped ahead. In pursuit is Williams. Spraying out wide. Shot off the foot of Biafori, and that's going to be a corner kick as Gabe made a stop. Corner coming from the far side of the field. First of the half for Narragansett. I believe they're third of the game.
Correct.
Ball is launched into the box. Gay elevates. Wastes no time booting the ball upfield. A little too impatient as Biafori was camping out underneath it. Some nifty footwork by Echeverria. Stretch the field for the Panthers. It's going to come back towards Melgar. Melgar took a tumble. Hops right back up. Montero, stop and go, gets around Biafori. Lamero ahead for Echeverria. Tracks it down in the left side corner. Into the middle, wanted Montero, and instead it comes back out to midfield, but the player down. He's okay, popping right back up. That looked like Colin Patrick. And just waiting for the call. It'll be a free kick for Narragansett, deep in its own zone. Booming ball by Johnson from around midfield. Seen all the way by Lergio, a little bit off the mark. Lergio steps in one, gets caught up in the jet stream, and finally comes down. Abahara around midfield, trying to direct traffic, sending Soto up. He crisscrosses with Muller. Muller steps in, the lefty shot. Muller still in the box. Excellent footwork and the shot taken, but it's off the mark. Really good one-on-one effort there by Muller. Wonder if he had any passing lanes.
Several nifty moves. Set himself up with a pretty good opportunity. Just kicked it wide.
Johnston with another rush up the far side. That was Montero. Goes out of bounds off a Narragansett defender over the end line. That means a corner kick coming for the Panthers. Had their best chance by far off a corner earlier on in this half. Mohamed Abahera kick it in from the far side corner. This time sends one into the box. Lugero lunged up, made one stop, cleared out by Melnick with Lugero down. Johnston staying with it. That was Lamero. Comes back up outside of the danger zone as far as Narragansett's concerned. Knocked down by Melgar. Taken back by the Mariners. You could have a two-on-one rush, I should say. No offside, but a good job getting back by the Panther D. It was Brody Williams with an eye for the net. There's Ward, short pass for Biafori. Biafori staying with it. Gonna give this ball to Johnston with a throw in. Good ball ahead towards Montero. Narragansett D swarms him immediately.
Harris with a nice play there, took a good angle. Otherwise, might have been one-on-one with the goalie.
From around the 40, that was booted by Lamero, but way wide. Trying to ignite the offense from deep. Be a goal kick for the Mariners, who slow play it out of their own end.
Can't say I blame them.
Sitting on the 2-goal lead. Inching their way back upfield as Narragansett. They'll get a throw in. Going the other way for Johnston. On the throw in comes into Abahera. Abahera launches one on a bounce. Lots of hop in that ball, but Montero couldn't quite track it down. Montero going to launch one on Lugero, and he leaves his line to fall on top of the ball for his second save and a shot on goal this half.
Nice job of smothering that. Those short hops can be tricky.
Lugero splits one over the 40. Trying to send Ward deep. He got his angle cut off by Montero, or Lamero, I should say. And that'll result in a Narragansett throw-in after the ball goes out of bounds. Just in bounds was Butler. Maybe not the official standing right on that yellow line, deemed him to the left, so it'll be a Johnston throw-in as we near the 55th minute of play in this contest. Little chip shot there. Gay able to sprint out. Hang on, sends it out to midfield, goes off the noggin of Melgar. Right back comes Narragansett. It's Ward. Spins around the ball, keeping it between his legs on a dribble, and that looked out of bounds. The official deemed otherwise. He had a much better look than I did, of course, as Legero lets the ball come right to him. Melnick from the back end up towards Hayes. Abahara in the middle. With Johnston back in possession. 90-degree pass to Lamero. Into the middle. It's Patron. Kicked away by the Mariners. It was Maciel on the scene from out deep. That's on net. Abahara, low percentage shot, but a shot on goal all the same. Lergio, I should say, sees it clean.
At this point, if you're Johnston, anything you can get on net is probably a good opportunity. You need two. Maybe you get one in. Maybe you get a rebound. Maybe you get a foul in the zone, in the box.
Narragansett wanted a call. It was Melnick who stumbled. At the far side is Ward. He too tumbles. Don't believe that's a penalty either. I think it went off the Narragansett foot. So Gay will take a goal kick. Couple of subs for each side. Abahara got it started from his own end up towards Patron. Patron slows it down. Switches over to his right foot, and it'll be a free kick for the Panthers.
I didn't hear a whistle. I saw him picking up the ball.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of sports you could do that in. This isn't one of them. But obviously didn't hear the whistle with the foul.
Patron will take the free kick, and that is from within scoring range. Big play here for the Panthers. There's the wall in front. You see about 6 red jerseys in there. See what Patron's game plan is. He's going to launch it with his left foot. Trying to pick a corner, and it's off the mark. Little English on it. Good bend. It couldn't quite slice it into the cage.
Curled it around the wall. Effectively went low, not high, and it didn't nick the post, but it was close.
Goal kick for Gansett. Comes out to around midfield, and about 2 minutes before we take a mask break, as it is, and start the unofficial fourth quarter. Narragansett looking to pad its lead. Running into a couple of jerseys was Maciel. A couple of blue jerseys, that is. Gay will hang on to the ball. Propels it through the air. Knocked down by the noggin of Maciel, back upfield. Ball's going to bounce out of bounds as Soto prepares to throw it in. Short pass in and mishandled. Was by Patron, so going the other way for Gansett. As Golick stood in the way, headed it out of bounds. A shot from way out. Lurgio makes a save, and the rebound came over towards Montero. The shot off the rebound, he tried to put it on net. Nobody home at the far side post. Went off a Mariner defender, so a corner kick coming for Johnston, and they've been dangerous in these situations, Steve.
They have been, and that first shot I didn't think was that dangerous, but obviously once the rebound came out, that's where the danger came.
Ball's up, headed out by Narragansett. Inside 20 minutes to play in the second half. Narragansett upfield. It's anybody's ball. Gay going to come out aggressively. He got ran into a bit. The Narragansett player. Clock will stop. That'll be our mask break. We'll take a break as well here on the NFHS Network.
At Ortho, Rhode Island, our mission is to get you back on the field, back on the water, back to work, back to your family. Our experienced orthopedic surgeons and specialists work with leading-edge treatments and robotic-assisted technologies, caring for chronic conditions and injuries to bones, muscles, and joints, from diagnosis to aftercare, so you can get back to what matters most. Ortho, Rhode Island, caring for your every move. At Ortho, Rhode Island, our mission is to get you back on the field, back on the water, back to work, back to your family. Our experienced orthopedic surgeons and specialists work with leading-edge treatments and robotic-assisted technologies, caring for chronic conditions and injuries to bones, muscles, and joints, from diagnosis to aftercare, so you can get back to what matters most. Ortho, Rhode Island, caring for your every move.
We are getting close to the end of this one. 19:43 left in the second half. It's a 2-0 lead for Narragansett. Pair of goals for Brody Williams, both in the first half, but Johnston has looked energized here in the second half so far, Steve. Couple corner kicks have led to some shots on goal, something they really just didn't have a ton of in the first half.
Yeah, they've forced 3 corner kicks. They've put some pressure on, and a little bit unfortunate that they haven't been able to get one, but still 20 minutes left, and they're at the point now where you got to attack.
There goes Sullivan, a shot, he scores! Throw the hats out, it's Brody Williams, my mistake. His third goal of the game, It just might be enough for the championship.
He went short side. And his third goal for Brody Williams. Senior. Pretty special way to end that career.
The senior in the final game of his soccer career, at least high school soccer career, going out with a bang and a performance for the ages. Brady Butler, his classmate, upfield, trying to split between some defenders, find some real estate out to the right. Butler stuck with it before Montero picked his pocket. Soto on the near side. Lets it go out of bounds. It'll be a throw in for the Mariners. Quick chip shot ahead, intended for Ward. The angle is cut off by Patron. Comes back out towards Biafori. Melgar's blast blocked around the 30. Came back to Patron. There's Abahera. All bouncing along the sideline, out of bounds. Free throw in coming for Johnson. Lomero up the middle, standing in the way, Melnick. He's been all over the place for Gansett there on the back end, and a big-time collision. Down like bowling pins, went to a few different bodies. Trying to cut off the angle, Abahera. And he'll keep Ward at bay and earn a throw-in. Well, his teammate will be the one tossing. It's Melgar right into Abahera. Jumping the route clean was Ward. Taken back by Abahera. On the scene is Ward, deep in his own corner. Gonna send it to the middle of the field. Bouncing it off his head is Lomero. Lead ball ahead. First man back was Lomero, as he's been all game long. Him and Patron patrolling that back end for the Panthers. Be a Narragansett throw-in. Inside 17 minutes left in regulation. Little bicycle hop kick on a one-timer by Patrick, goes out of bounds. Miscommunication at midfield and result in a Johnston free kick. After Gay launched it with a goal kick. Come the Panthers, it's Brower. Brower to the near side for Soto. Soto goes back for Abahera. A little top spin on it. It'll bounce all the way back towards Golick. Golick will set to throw it in for Johnson. Keeps it along the sideline. It bounces off the head of Ward. No consequence. Just a couple of free yards, or really 15, 20 of them for Johnston. So Golick will launch it again, that time into the box. Kicked out by the Mariners defense. Inside 15 minutes left. We've played 65 minutes of soccer. And Brody Williams has all 3 goals for the Mariners. There's a ball that's scooped up by Gay on a preemptive strike. As he's been all game long, aggressive in getting it out to midfield. Getting ahead of the defense, offside. If it ever looks like that, it's probably true.
Step or two ahead.
Yep.
Was Masson.
Masson, that number 26, we couldn't figure out who it was earlier. Thank you to the fan who came in at the half and alerted us. The freshman, the only freshman on this Narragansett roster. It's a younger roster for the most part. Certainly in terms of the starting lineup, only a couple of seniors did get the start for the Mariners, but only the one freshman. Lots of juniors and sophomores.
Bodes well for the future.
Narragansett 13 and a half minutes away from its first state championship since 1986. First time in the title game in 8 years anyways. It went to the final 4 times in a 6-year span there in the 80s, but the only game they won was 86. They lost it in 82, 85, and 87. But they got one, so what would that make them? I guess the Atlanta Braves. You go a bunch, at least you get one.
Yes.
Could always be the Buffalo Bills. Johnston playing in their first ever title game in boys soccer. Been competitive in this one. Certainly in the second half have dialed up some pressure, taking shots from every which way. Testing Adam Lergio. They're yet to find that perfect stroke.
Yeah, they've battled.
It's a launcher. Again, a little off the mark, and Lergio underneath it in plenty of time regardless.
I mean, they created chances, and for the better part of the second half, probably had the better of the play. Then that goal coming out of the under 20-minute mask break really was the backbreaker as Williams got the hat trick to make it 3-0 Johnston. 3-0 Narragansett.
Here goes Soto. Short pass intended for Patron. Bounced back to Mariner possession. It's Ward there for Narragansett. Finds some free space up the right. Hot in pursuit was Golick. Ultimately forced the ball out of bounds, but that's a throw in anyways for the team in red. I think we got some subs coming in now. Maciel will throw it in for the Mariners. Inside 11 minutes to go. Sent that one off the thigh of his own forward. It was Martin upfield. Backtracking was Patrick. But angle it out towards Melnick. The middle of the field is taken away by the Panthers. With the afterburners, it's Montero. Launches one again right on Lergio. Stops it with his hands, keeps it in front of him. Will drop it, take the bounce, and booms it up into the evening air.
Magnet reared its ugly head again, but this time it stayed in bounds.
It sure did. We've played 70 minutes, and Narragansett's lead is still 3-0. Lergio gets it back. Had to make 3 saves in the second half. First 3 shots on goal for Johnson. Foot race for the ball, and Gay gambled. Win the foot race. May have had a leg on Ward as it was.
A little too aggressive there. A little hold by Sullivan.
Everybody moving up. Gay will launch one. I think it went off the head of Jack Harris somewhere around the 20-yard line. Playable for the Mariners. They move back upfield. Evading a slide tackle was Ward. Went off of Patron. It'll be a Mariner throw-in from across the pitch. Melnick has it. Bumped off. Colin Martin picks up the slack. Taken away by Echeverria. Echeverria tripped up a bit, and that enabled Butler some time to boom it away. Should be a Panther throw-in on the far side of the field, where the majority have come from. Certainly in this game. In the box, shot blocked before Lurgio could get a chance at it. That was Echeverria. Boomed upfield by Narragansett. Sitting on a 3-goal lead. 2 goals in the first half, 1 in the second. All 3 from Brody Williams, the senior, looking to end his high school career in the most memorable of fashion.
Hat trick in a state championship game.
Not as good as it gets.
Probably couldn't even dream. That's not something to even dream of last night.
Memorable either way, playing a game in these conditions. And then to score a hat trick on top of it and a winning effort. That's going to be the story for Brody Williams. If his team can hang on these next 6 minutes and 40 seconds or so, clock stops, might have a card. Didn't see a card drawn by the official.
It was just a little preventative officiating, as they say.
Lurgio leaves his line to collect that ball.
Calm the player down, make sure you remind them, hey, you're up 3-0, you don't want to get a red card.
Moving up, Echeverria. Echeverria was looking towards Montero. That's cleared out by the Mariners.
Brady Butler with a solid defensive play. Went down hard, but hopped up quickly. Approaching the 5-minute mark. Long day of soccer, but a fun day 4 champions crowned. Looks like we have some mass substitutions for Narragansett.
Saw the Shea girls win the Division IV title. Saw South Kingstown win the Division I boys title. And saw East Greenwich win the Division II boys title in overtime. It's the only one of our games that needed the extra session. It didn't come down to PKs. It was 31 seconds into the second overtime, the second 5-minute overtime period. Did a good job keeping this game on schedule.
I would argue that was the prettiest goal of the day as well.
No argument here. Oh, that was a highlight reel. It was Andrew Mega who scored for East Greenwich as a shot comes in on a hop and a save by Lergio. Mega then pulled his hamstring.
Yes. Hope he's okay.
Well, he seemed to be in decent spirits after the game.
Okay.
I think
reality will set in right about now, actually.
Probably. But he'll have his medal to look at.
Yes.
So that should ease the pain ever so slightly, we hope, for the young man.
There is a price to winning a championship. You don't want it to be an injury, but...
Also hearing his sister scored a game-winning goal in the field hockey finals earlier today. So
that's a
big day at the Mega household.
Absolutely.
Three and a half minutes to go in this one. Narragansett trying to earn the shutout. First title in 34 years. Narragansett's neighbors, South Kingstown, snapped a 28-year title drought earlier this afternoon. Mariners on their way to another drought snapping win that spans generations. And it's more collision. I don't think there's anything malicious there, but Gay quickly booms the ball back upfield. Think this will be a free kick. There might be some unruly fans out there. The play on the field looks like it's okay. There's Brower ahead as it was headed off by Butler. Few more subs, this time for Johnston. We enter the 79th minute of play here at Polisema Field.
Three more games tomorrow.
That's right. We'll have them for you on the NFHS network. George Bannister and Jared Ware on the call for those.
Division 1, 2, and 3 girls state finals.
Launched in by Lamero and handled by Lergio for Narragansett. Certainly in some ball control offense at this juncture. Far side of the field is the Mariners. Last played in this title game in 2012 as a program. Most of these kids were in elementary school for that one. I think mathematically the oldest they could have been would have been 5th grade. Gay is going to deke out a breaking in Mariner. We have a player down for Johnston. Across the field. With such little time left, you're going to hope he can get up and get off the field under his own power. We finally do get the whistle, so with 21 seconds left.
too far to see a number. Certainly hope the young man's okay.
Well, of course. You need some binoculars to see that far. Well, again, Narragansett waited 34 years. They can wait a few more seconds. And the young man is okay, up on his own 2 feet.
Hate to see anyone get injured, especially with 20 seconds left.
Going to be a free kick for the Panthers from the 30-yard line in Narragansett territory. See a 3-man wall. He boots it, and it is over the crossbar. A couple of feet. The Mariners in no rush to go retrieve it. Ball boy will toss the ball back onto the field, so it'll be a goal kick for the Mariners. Can launch this ball into the air, and by the time it lands, they won't even bother. The Mariners win the state championship. Partying like it's 1986 in Narragansett. The Mariners do it. 3-0, 3 goals, count them 3 for Brody Williams, the senior midfielder. One on a penalty kick, another one a few minutes later, and then in the second half, he had the dagger. Well, Steve, that'll do it for us. An exciting day of soccer, and we're going to keep it here for the trophy presentation, but Steve Kirk and myself will be signing off. Pleasure working with you all day, Steve.
Pleasure is mine, as it was a fun day. Appreciate all your time and effort, and Brody Williams, a day he'll remember for the rest of his life.
Absolutely. Congratulations to the Mariners. Congratulations to everybody who played today. In this fall sports season like no other, making it to the state championship game, accomplishment unto itself. Winning it, even better. For Steve Kirk, I'm Jake Levin. We'll see you tomorrow on the NFHS Network.
At Ortho, Rhode Island, our mission is to get you back on the field, back on the water, back to work, back to your family. Our experienced orthopedic surgeons and specialists work with leading-edge treatments and robotic-assisted technologies, caring for chronic conditions and injuries to bones, muscles, and joints, from diagnosis to aftercare, so you can get back to what matters most. Ortho Rhode Island, caring for your every move. At Ortho